Well, there is a real possibility that cybercrime could potentially ruin your life if you're not careful. I just learned a ton. I've got to make some serious changes. David Groot is the president of WinStar Technologies, and you're here to keep us safe. Some things that we can do. First and foremost, tell us a little bit about some of the statistics that might get people at home to perk up.
Sure. With the 145 million Americans had their Social Security number compromised in the Equifax breach,
Right.
which means that those Social Security numbers are now for sale on the dark web for anybody who wants to go purchase them.
Yeah.
And then they can try and steal your identity. Cybercrime is the second most reported crime on the planet.
And it can really happen to anyone. I think, number one, you've got a list of tips here. We're going to see if we can get through them all. But we were just chatting about my passwords. I need to go and change my passwords up.
Every website and every app that you have on your phone or on your computer should have a different and unique password. You should never use the same password twice, because if that site gets breached, that then becomes for sale on the dark web and can be used to log into other websites.
And then, so what if when you are putting in a password, or where it says a potential password, and your computer gives you a suggested password, do you suggest using those, or?
So random passwords are fine, as long as it's not the same password for every site.
Gotcha.
And to help make that easier to do, Password Manager, which is an application you can install on your computer, can help quite a bit with that.
Okay, what about identity monitoring?
Identity monitoring is an early detection system. So these folks are going to watch your Social Security number and various things like your passport and driver's license and make sure that there's no use of those, or if they're for sale on the dark web. And then they're going to notify you early on so that you can try and stop that. In the case of your identity being stolen, the identity monitoring company can help you to recover that.
Okay, very good. And then also freezing your credit. I didn't know you could do this, but this makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. All three major credit bureaus have the ability for you to go freeze your credit, which means nobody can pull a credit report. And if you can't get a credit report, it makes it nearly impossible to open a new account in your name.
So you really stay in control of your information.
That's what we're talking is you have to take control of your information.
So we've talked a little bit about passwords already, but make sure you put a password on your home Wi-Fi.
Put a password on your home Wi-Fi, and then with the administrative interfaces for all the devices in your home that are connected to the internet, TV, doorbells, door locks, cameras, go into those administrative interfaces and change the default password to get into the interface, because hackers know what they are. And if they get into your network at home, they're then into those devices, and they're monitoring all of what you're doing in your house through your cameras and your TVs and your computers.
Okay, this is serious stuff. And then we can do one more here.
Okay.
So whatever you would like.
Multi-factor authentication is incredibly important. So for every website, again, unique password and username could very likely be the same. The email address is usually what happens. But with the multi-factor, once I put in my username and my password, I'm then prompted, I get a text message, or I'll have an app on my phone, and that'll give me 6 digits or 8 digits that I can then type in as the second factor.
I know Apple's really big on that one. Okay, and then you know so much because you've actually written a book. If people are interested in your book, where can we find it?
The book is on Amazon Kindle. It is The Threat is Real, Protecting You and Your Family from the Global Threat of Cybercrime.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Really great tips. I appreciate it. Now I've got some work to do. I don't want to share my passwords with anyone.
Thanks for having me.